Ella's second album on Folkways came out in 1960 and it was called African American Folk Rhythms. On this album, there are two songs that Ella learned from hearing Maya Angelou perform, and one of them is That's All Right, Julie. Gayle, I'm curious if you can speak about Ella's connection to Maya Angelou and how these two songs became part of Ella's repertory.
Ella spent several years in the late 40s through the early 50s in San Francisco, finishing a college degree at what was then San Francisco State College. Maya Angelou and Odetta, both in San Francisco or in the Bay Area at that time. Maya Angelou, we think of her as a writer, was in fact taking on the name Maya Angelou partly because she was a talented dancer and singer, and there were opportunities for her to earn a living in the San Francisco area as a kind of calypso singer. And calypso meant so many things in the 50s. It kind of was a form of music, maybe associated with Harry Belafonte, but it was also like a form of kind of exotic performance, rhythmic performance that people were interested in consuming. And so I don't think that Ella ever encountered either of those women in San Francisco, but she became friends with Odetta in Chicago, and she saw Maya Angelou. She might have known about Maya Angelou in San Francisco, but she definitely went to see Maya Angelou in Chicago in the late 50s and early 60s. It's so interesting to me because in the folk world, the idea of listening to someone else doing a song in a club and then incorporating that into your own repertory was quite common. And there's this kind of idea of musical exchange where the nightclub or the folk school was the site of musical exchange. People would go to the Gate of Horn, or they would go to whatever dingy clubs people were performing at, and they would go to listen and to learn. So when Ella would do material by Maya Angelou, it was a tribute to those songs. And Ella always gave credit where credit was due. If she had a source, she always made sure to say that. So you'll notice in her album liner notes, she will say, I learned this from Maya Angelou. Not everyone did that, even though everyone was listening and everyone was picking up each other's songs.